Bienvenue à l'hôtel Le Plaza, Bruxelles.
Podcast. Hi everyone, David here from HR Meetup, live from the Plaza Hotel, which accompanies us every month. Now we have some not so newcomers, of course, because we already had an interview in the past with GCI. But there's one special guest, of course, that we don't know yet, but all listeners will find out later in the interview because we begin with Kamil. I'll let you introduce yourself, a short introduction, and then, just introduce yourself for all listeners.
Sure. Well, thanks, David, for having us once again. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys and chatting about our project and our organization. My name is Kamil MROZ. I'm an engineer by profession, and in my hobby time, in my free time, I love to volunteer. So I volunteer with JCI TOW, which is the organization that I'm part of. I'm Polish-Canadian, live in Brussels now, and aim to stick around for as long as I can foresee.
Now, of course, for the people that haven't listened to the interview yet, shame on you, of course. Just in short, what is GCI?
Sure. So JCI is what the acronym stands for is Junior Chamber International. It's a non-for-profit volunteer organization, which is really a network of young professionals, students, people from all around the world that aim to create positive change within their community. So people like me, like Magali, like Laura, who are professionals in their full time, but then when we have an idea to help, let's say the community, young people or something, we get together. We make that idea happen by applying project management skills, by applying whatever we know to make something happen, to go from an idea to actually a volunteer project. And we do that, non-for-profit without any pay. And that's the type of thing that we enjoy. That's what the organization really stands for.
And that's, of course, the passion that talks.
That's right. Yeah. If we
you're
didn't
doing something voluntarily without any pay, it's the passion that pays.
Yeah, I think the passion is what keeps us going because, a lot of times after work, after 8, to 12-hour days, sometimes even more, without any passion to continue working and doing volunteer stuff in our free time, it definitely wouldn't happen. So you're right. Passion is our fuel. Passion is our blood.
It's your drive.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not yet the hybrid drive, but
no, not yet. It's the pure raw fuel.
okay. Now, of course, last time we talked about a big event that was coming up. How did it go? How are the reactions?
Yeah. So in the spirit of volunteer work, just to take it back a bit for the guys that didn't hear the last podcast, we organized an event, in fact, a project to help young people here in Brussels. So it was a project bringing together people from our professional and personal networks to actually help and mentor and advise young unemployed youth, recent graduates, or people struggling for a job. It was, in fact, the third edition of the event because the original event happened in 2012. It was a scaled-down version of what happened in November 2013. But just to give you an idea of what happened, it was quite large. We had 450 young people without jobs or looking for direction in life come and be mentored, be helped by actual HR professionals who volunteered to give their time and energy and everything to help these young people in these difficult times. And we had a message from the Prime Minister of Belgium supporting and recognizing the effort. We had a member of European Parliament also support the cause. And we had just an army of volunteers, really an army. If you look at the project in its entirety, I think there was about 150 to 200 pure bona fide volunteers, including the organizing committee, including student volunteers, including all of the CV assessors, the HR professionals that came, that normally like an HR professional, that senior to mid-level is quite expensive if you look at it from the sheer daily rate, but they came for free. They came on a Saturday morning. They just believed in what we do and came out to support this cause, which at heart was aiming to tackle youth unemployment in the city. 200 volunteers, great speakers, great CV assessors, great environment, great feedback. And in addition to that, we also did a leadership summit on that same weekend. That leadership summit was a bit different in scope. It was more like the first phase of an international project that we were starting, an international campaign to, in addition to help tackle youth unemployment on the local level, to now start going on like a European level to not only work locally, but work on a European-wide scale with local leaders that share the same values, ideas, mission as
we
JCI.
talked about it in the previous interview. I remember that we're talking about setting up the same, like say, organization, a voluntary organization in different countries. Now, of course, this is the perfect occasion to let us introduce the two lovely ladies who are accompanying us here in this interview. Of course, we know already Magali.
Hi, yes. Thanks, David, for having us today. We are really glad to be here. Maybe I will be talking about the campaign, and Laura, who is here too, and she will introduce herself. We'll talk about the next event who will take place in Brussels.
Now, of course, for Laura, it's a complete new. It's our first acquaintance, the first time we get acquainted. And as we were discussing before the interview, it will be done with music, so she can enjoy herself during this interview.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
You're very welcome. Now, of course, we'll put on the direct step, of course, with the international plans you guys have. And you're leading the effort, the campaign?
So, yeah, Magali speaking. So the role I will be having this year is to lead the EU campaign. So just like Kamil said, we had this leadership summit last year, and all of those guys who attended the leadership summit were really inspired by the best practices we taught them. They were inspired by the issue because obviously that's a common issue in every single EU country. So those guys have gone back to their countries, and now we are really activating them so that they will organize the event for their local communities. So the idea is really for them to see how Brussels did, but then really apply it to the local market needs. So, for example, I can already mention a few cities and countries we have. So Riga is really aiming at developing the event at the same time as Brussels. Those guys are really highly motivated. We have UK, Vienna. I won't go through all the cities we have identified, but basically it's really like a widespread campaign that we are doing now. And this will kick off on the 9th of May, but the idea is really to spread the action and have different cities where there's the need, the event will take place, and we'll be there to support all those country managers who will be organizing the events.
And how are because you know, like you said, of course, it depends a bit on the participation, of course. Do you get a lot of questions to get the startup? Because I think I can presume you're handling, like say, from a far distance, how they will be setting up, how the best practice tips and tricks, let's say like that, to get things going.
Well, we have a really, really strong and nice team here in Brussels. So people have stayed with us and they know how it works, and we are basically building a package to support those country managers to help them organize the event in their countries, giving them best advice, tools, any template materials we can share with them to help them organize the event. Then, of course, the local knowledge and applying it to their markets, they will be the one doing that, because we have to stay humble. Huh? We can't know what the reality is for Riga, for people in Riga, for example. But we are really going to be a coordination team, providing them with all those materials we can that will help them, basically.
Is everything going to be, let's say, centralized in one website, or is it going to be one website for?
Yes, we'll have
just practical, of course, but
yeah. We will come back to you with that, but the idea is really to have an EU campaign website, and then all of those countries will provide them with a website. The same template is just going to be cloning the website, and then they will put their own program, their own, branding materials and stuff like that.
Okay,
but
just to get the overall view, let's say like that. It's always is fun and always comes in handy to see that a project that started just out here in Brussels gets that international attention, of course. Now, of course, we've been talking to two persons now, but there's a third person here next to me. And of course, she's new to the mic, so I'll let her introduce herself completely now.
Hello, so I'm Laura GIMENEZ. I joined the project of Your Future in Brussels last year for the previous event. And otherwise, in the other time I have during my days, I'm an engineer in biotechnology. I work for a pharmaceutical company. And I'm going to lead the organization of the next edition of Your Future in Brussels, which will take place in May this year, the 10th of May. So we're going to repeat what we've already done with a lot of success, apply the same recipe basically. We are expecting this time to have around 300 people coming again for nice inspirational talks, for workshops, for CV assessment, to get practical tips for their job application.
Now, of course, for our listeners that are new to the concept, do they have to subscribe somewhere to let them know they're coming, or?
Yes, so there will be a registration open on the website. We're going to launch that as soon as possible. It's still in the phase of being put in place at the moment,
Okay.
but we'll let you know as soon as the registrations are open.
Okay, so we'll also put it on our Facebook page and all social media, of course, to invite all those young people to check in, to register, and pass by the event, of course. So it was the 10th of May.
10th of May, and we have a new event this year on top of the regular Your Future in Brussels. So we have strong and historic partners now from the Brussels Chamber of Commerce, BESI. We're going to organize a job fair.
Oh, okay.
In addition to Your Future, so it will be followed, like the week after Your Future, we will have this Your Future Recruitment Day, where people who got all the advices for their application, then they can go and really apply for positions.
Directly
and
progress everything
yeah.
in. So they have 1 week to reassess their resume and to just get out and get the job they want.
Exactly. That's the idea.
That's going to be exciting for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that's a wonderful sort of last step, because where we've been strong and where we've been able to offer a solution is the personal development side and the professional development side. So professionals like ourselves, and bringing together our networks and also our experiences and sharing them with the young people in this event. But what traditionally we couldn't really give to the young people, it's a job in the end. And that's, I think, an advice and a feedback that has continually resurfaced. So this year, like Laura said, we've been able to partner with BESI, JCI TOE, and they, because of their outreach and work with actual companies who are staffing, we've been able to put together a business case whereby we can actually, show that these unemployed youth that we're helping with these advices, tips, personal development, have been trained at our event, have been motivated, have received training on personality type or on just basic feedback on their CV. And in fact, it's something that a company would like to see. Not only some young person that is applying, but a young person that shows motivation and that shows initiative and has already sort of taken the small steps to personal development. So I think that's really cool. That's really closing the loop when you talk about youth unemployment. We go from the youth that is unemployed to then being trained, being advised, finding a network, being mentored at the Your Future in Brussels event, and then closing the loop with actually partnering with such an organization that can offer an interview.
And
already
perhaps
knowing that they're
afterwards, when they've got the job, they can just pass by the new events and talk about their experience from GCI.
That would be
that would be really closing the loop.
That would make me so happy, because what we do at the end of the day is we serve as role models. We are people that see a social need that needs to be attacked, needs to be solved. Here is the case of youth unemployment, and we try to act as role models to lead so that people also take on that challenge that's once we took on. And if we lead by example, if we show these young people that not only can you get a job, but you can help others get a job, help your peers, help your fellow young people, take this project, do it at home, or if you get a job, then serve as the next leaders driving such an initiative, then that makes it really inspiring, and it makes it an event that
So sustainable? Or?
sustainable, but that really acts as a role model for how society should be, caring for the other, caring for the next generation, and hoping
And sharing
that,
their passion.
yeah, sharing that passion, and hoping that that leadership is then emulated by those people who've participated or who've directly benefited and been touched by that project. So if they come back like that, from young unemployed youth to a leader of the initiative, I would be so happy to shake that person's hand and say, you know, I can retire from JCI when there's people like that.
But retiring at the age of 25 is quite...
yeah. But,
if I can jump on that,
yeah.
we actually have people who came back. Some people attended the event last year and they actually come back to volunteer because they found not only that it was helping them, but they found that the cause was right and they felt they wanted to fight for it together with us. So they joined us and now they are volunteers within GCI TOW.
That's, of course, the best recognition you can have. Now, of course, I see we're already at 16 minutes, but just a quick question. For the companies that also want to participate in the job fair, is there still any openings for companies to pass by job fair and offer different staffing, or?
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely, the offer is on the table. In fact, we're still in the preliminary phases with the partner to set up the details. So right now we're just starting up the logistics, who's doing what. And so in fact, there is a lot of opportunity for companies to reach out, get in touch with us as JCI TOW or Bessie. And if you're interested in helping this cause, joining this project, whereby you can benefit yourself by finding, I think, top talents, because although they're unemployed, these guys, if you saw some of the CVs that we see, you would be surprised that they're unemployed, you know, and they're people that can really offer value to companies. So if companies are listening to this, get in touch with us.
Okay. Just for the record, the website is
www.jcithoe.com.
Okay, so everyone can just check out the website and contact you through there.
Yeah, just get in touch with any of us. Get in touch with Magali if you're interested in doing a European project somewhere in a different country. Get in touch with Laura if you're interested in getting active, let's say as a volunteer, joining her team, or as a CV assessor, or as a speaker, or as any way you can help. Just get in touch with us. We're nice. We don't bite. We're friendly.
Not yet, of course. After the interview, perhaps in the sandwiches that we have here. But
yeah.
Now, of course, thanks for making the time for this interview. And I'm sure we'll hear each other very soon again.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. Thank you, guys.